So, as we proceed, so now again these lines. Even when Lahari Mahasya was silent, Master told me, or when he conversed on other than strictly religious topic, I discovered that none other less he had transmitted to me ineffable knowledge. Sri Yukteswar affected me similarly. If I entered the hermitage in a worried or indifferent frame of mind, my attitude imperceptibly changed. A healing calm descended at mere sight of my Guru. Every day with him was a new experience of joy, peace, and wisdom. Never did I find him deluded or intoxicated with greed or emotion or anger or any human attachment. So now what happens? Like whenever like people who have gurus, you might see that when you're very worried, you just have a look at the photo of the guru. Your mind calms down. There is some meditation also. Like you need to just see in the eyes of the guru, and your mind will calm down. So Sri Yukteswar shared with Paramahansa Yogananda ji that whenever he was with his teacher Lahari Mahasya, so even if he was not talking, he discovered that even in his silence, he got the knowledge and information. And same happened with the Paramahansa Yogananda ji that whenever he used to enter the hermitage of Sri Yukteswar ji, a sudden healing energy started flowing over him, and he had this experience of joy, peace, and wisdom. Never did I find him deluded or intoxicated with greed, emotion, anger, or any human attachment. So these are the things that I think each and every human possesses: delusion, intoxication with greed, emotion, anger, or any human attachment. But he saw that he was not affected by these things. Where has it gone? The darkness of Maya is silently approaching. Let us hie homeward within. With these words at dusk, Master constantly reminded uh, his disciples of their need of Kriya Yoga. Just a second. The darkness of Maya is silently approaching. Let us hie homeward within. With these words at dusk, Master constantly reminded his disciple of their need of for Kriya Yoga. A new student occasionally expressed doubts regarding his own worthiness to engage in yoga practice. Forget the past, Sri Yukteswar would console him. The vanished lives of all men are dark with many shades. Human conduct is ever unreliable until anchored in divine. Everything in future will improve if you are making spiritual efforts now. So these lines. Again, we will decode these lines. Very often, like when we say like you need to do practice these meditation, this form of kriya yoga, so most of the time the disciple has a lot of doubts. He say, I am not like this, I have not done it till yet. So what the teacher says that forget the past. So the master is saying, let go of your past, mistakes, regrets, and shame. The past is gone. Dwelling on it only blocks your growth. The vanished lives of all men are dark with many shades. Everyone has made mistakes in his life. No one's past is completely pure or perfect. The vanished lives refer to our past experiences or even past incarnations. They all carry lessons, not guilt. So, whatever mistakes we have done in our past, those were the lessons that we need to learn. It has not to go with the guilt, like I did wrong, I should be punished, I should not do good, should not happen to me. So, these things are all guilt. So you need to just take your lessons and move ahead with your life. So the teacher is saying human conduct is ever unreliable until anchored in the divine. Human behavior is unstable and inconsistent when it's guided by ego, desires, or emotion. True steadiness, goodness, and integrity come only when one's life is rooted in divine, when the soul, not the ego, leads. So, human behavior is, very unreliable because it is ego driven. So, the moment you are divine driven, you're soul driven, stability comes in your life. Everything in future will improve if you are making spiritual efforts now. The master reassures that no matter what has happened before, if you focus on spiritual growth in this moment, your future will transform for the better. The present efforts towards divine consciousness rewrites your destiny. So, like in your present, you are taking actions, and you're working towards your growth, your spiritual growth. So everything will fall into place. So, if we summarize this, don't let your past define you. Everyone has made mistakes. Anchor your life in this divine now, and your future will bloom in light and peace. So, Master, next we'll proceed. Master always had young chelas in his hermitage. Their spiritual intellectual education was his lifelong interest. Even shortly before he passed on, he accepted for training two 6 years old boys, and one youth of 16. He directed their minds and lives with a careful discipline in which the word disciple is etymologically rooted. The ashram resident loved and revered their guru. A slight clap of his hand sufficed to bring them eagerly to their side. When his mood was silent and withdrawn, no one ventured to speak. When his laugh rang jovially, children looked upon him as his own. So, who all were at his ashram? It was a 2 6 years old boy and one 16-year old boy. So, the moment he used to clap, they used to come beside him. And when he was silent, when the guru was silent, no one would speak. And when he would laugh, he would jovially children looked upon him. Master seldom asked others to render him a personal service, nor would he accept help from student unless the willingness was sincere. My guru quietly washed his clothes. If the disciples overlooked that privileged task, Sri Yukteswar wore the traditional ochre-colored Swami robe, his laceless shoes, in accordance with yogi custom, and were wear of a tiger or deer skin. So Sri Yukteswar ji used to do his all his activity. He used to do it by himself. If he would wanted, he would have taken help from the disciple, but he made sure he used to do all his work by himself. And like some disciple, like sincerely say no, like no, please let me do your work, let me wash your clothes, let me do it. Then only he would allow. Otherwise, he would prefer to or do all his work by himself. Master spoke fluent English, French, Hindi, and Bengali. His Sanskrit was fair. He patiently instructed his young disciples by certain shortcuts which he ingeniously devised for the students of English and Sanskrit. Master was cautious of his body while withholding solicitous attachment. The infinite, he pointed out, properly manifest through physical and mental soundness. He, disca- he discountenanced any extremes. A disciple once started a long fast. My guru only laughed. Why not throw the dog a bone? Sri Yukteswar's health was excellent. So over here, he's telling that he was very cautious with his body and with the attachment. And whenever a disciple would say like, "Today I'm going for fasting, the whole day I'll be fasting," so he used to say it in humor, "Let's throw dog a bone," means just test his fasting. Sri Yukteswar's health was excellent. I never saw him unwell. He permitted student to consult doctor if it seemed advisable. His purpose was to give respect to the world's worldly customs. Physicians must carry their work of healing through God's law as applied to matter, but he extolled the superiority of mental therapy and often repeated, "Wisdom is the greatest cleanser." Here, Sri Yukteswar ji is saying that physician must carry on their work of healing through God's laws as applied to matter. Means the doctors and the medical practitioners perform an important role. They work with God's natural laws and physical world, the laws that govern the body, nature, and health. So, medical treatment is not separate from spirituality. It's one way of applying divine principles in physical level. Like as healers, I don't know about other healer, but I usually don't interfere with the medical treatment. And I think a profound healer would never tell you to stop your medical practices or whatever treatment you are taking. It is something which you need to carry on. We don't interfere with the medical science. We work as, like, we complement it. Healers complement with it. So over here, the teacher is saying that whatever, the doctors, the practitioners have done, so these things, these are, you can say, spirituality which has been physicalized. The principles of the divine principles which has came to physical level. The next line, but he exalted the superiority of mental therapy and often repeated, "Wisdom is the greatest cleanser." However, he emphasized that healing of mind is even more powerful and long lasting than healing of the body. Many physical illness arise from mental tension, emotional imbalance, or ignorance. When the mind is healed, the body often follows. Wisdom is the greatest cleanser. True wisdom, the understanding of divine truth, awareness, spiritual clarity, purifies a person more deeply than any other medicine or ritual. So you can say that wisdom removes ignorance, fear, emotional turmoil, and the root cause of suffering. So we will pause over here and then we'll continue. The body is a treacherous friend. We'll talk more about body and healing in our next session. Thank you everyone for joining, for listening this book reading session. It carries lot of information, lot of insight. I can say I'm doing this book reading for the third time, and this is the third time. It is like I'm feeling I'm reading it for the first time. Each and every line, each and everything's like you can correlate it with your current scenario. So it's very, I am feeling grateful that I am becoming a divine instrument to, you know, help you understand these lines. So even if you say, if even if one thing clicks you in this book reading session, you can apply it to in your life and you can bring positive changes in your life. So thank you everyone for joining.